How far should police go to catch a bad guy? In pursuit of an armed bank robber, police in Aurora, Colorado stopped nearly 24 cars, handcuffed teens, and pointed rifles at mothers. They went so far that the whole case could be thrown out. The suspect might go free. Ted Rollins reports.
Marcy Strandberg stopped at a light on her way home from shopping near Denver, Colorado. The next thing she knew, police had her at gunpoint.
I said, I have kids in my car, and they had rifles pointed right at me.
19 cars were held at this intersection that Saturday afternoon. Everyone was ordered out of their cars at gunpoint, including children. The boy in the green shirt is 16-year-old Michael Hantz.
They had rifles, guns, and everything pointed at me with shields and a K9 dog.
A robbery that just occurred with a gun at Wells Fargo.
Police were looking for this bank robber, seen here wearing a beekeeper's mask and armed with an air horn and loaded gun. He had just made off with $25,000 from a Wells Fargo a few miles away.
I seen him wearing a beehive mask.
Police thought the bank robber was at this intersection because there was a GPS tracking device hidden in with the money. The problem is they had no idea what car he could be in, and because of that beekeeper's mask, they didn't even know what he looked like.
So everyone was treated as an armed and dangerous suspect.
We all had to have our hands showing and our arms out the window, and we had to keep our arms like this.
One by one, police approached each car with guns and shields. Nearly everyone was handcuffed. Marcy's 4-year-old daughter, who you can see she's carrying, was asleep for most of the ordeal. Her 8-year-old son, however, was awake.
My son was crying, and I kept telling him to keep his head down between his legs because I didn't know if open fire was going to happen.
That's Crystal de Guzman in handcuffs moments after she watched police take her son, 16-year-old Michael, away at gunpoint.
I think any mom would be upset, not knowing what's going to happen to your kid.
Police eventually searched this white Expedition. Inside, they found 2 loaded guns, the money, and the beekeeper's mask.
They have a suspect in custody.
45-year-old Christian Pache, a school teacher with no criminal record, was arrested and charged with armed robbery. He's pled not guilty. Was this a case of good police work, or did they go too far? Federal law gives police some leeway to detain citizens for a reasonable period of time as part of a criminal investigation.
A little bit of inconvenience, getting cuffed for a minute to see if you're armed, getting detained very briefly to see if there's some probable cause to believe you've done something, you do have to put up with that. But 2 hours at rifle point, I think that's a little excessive.
No question we inconvenience citizens. We feel badly about that. We apologize to them, but we made a tough choice here, and we arrested a very dangerous armed bank robber.
But what police did may have put the entire case in jeopardy. The accused robber's attorney says there was no probable cause to search the vehicle and that police violated his client's rights by pressuring him to agree to a search after he initially refused. If a judge agrees, all of the evidence, the guns, the money, the beekeeper's mask, could be thrown out because of the way it was collected. And as crazy as that sounds, some legal experts say they have an argument. Tim Olson, who was among those handcuffed at the intersection, says that would send a message to police.
If the bank robber gets away with it, that says you didn't do your job properly.
The judge's ruling in the case should indicate whether police were doing their job or if they crossed the line. Ted Rollins, CNN, Aurora, Colorado.
It is finally here, the iPhone 5.